All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. So let me go ahead and go grab the bias chart. Now, like I said, we've got economic data today. It's not like we don't have economic data. We have CPI, Empire State Manufacturing, and a bunch of other jazz going on. And all that jazz, that's right. So let's start with the euro dollar and let's talk about where the euro's at. So the euro's just been absolutely clobbered. If you look at the move, let's remove this, and we can actually probably get rid of that one. And if you go from this move right here, this spike low to the spike high of um, oh, that's an ECB decision. Sorry, I got to go over to an hourly here. So you go to the ECB decision. We are at the 127% extension, which is basically 104. Do I think the 104 can be broken? Absolutely, I can. Yep. While we trade below this 104.65 level, I think it's entirely possible. Now, 104.65, if you don't recall, this is the low from over here. So 104, it's a I'm sorry, 104.68. And we have a 104.62. Okay, so it's 104.60. So while we trade below 104.60, it's very dangerous. Okay, now, does this not mean we can post a false breakdown today and rally? We could, theoretically, but with all the issues surrounding Europe right now, I don't know how likely that is. I think there's, probably, people are looking at the euro dollar saying, listen, I don't want to be long. I just don't want to be long. We're breaking down the dollar. The Fed's raising rates. The ECB is still issuing a lot of paper. There's a lot of problems in the eurozone. I don't want to be long. I don't want to be long the euro. Okay, so while we are below 104.60. 104.6, I'll just put 104.65, actually 104.70. It's bearish, 1.0470. It is bearish, okay? Let's see. Let's go over to the, well, we're still doing 104 is going to be support for now, and then below that we gotta start looking at 103, 102.75, which very easy. I'll write it down, 1.0275. Based on the moves that we've seen already, it's possible. Okay. So 104.70 is probably going to be a great place to be on the short side of the euro if you can get it today. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell in front of there, and you might rally up to like 105, possible. But remember, the euro is trading really heavy, and there is a chance now that the euro is just destroyed. It's over. But you got to keep an eye on gold, and you got to see how things close today. Obviously, I'm just saying this is day one of a breakdown. So the question on day one is, do we hold it today? And then the next question is, do we hold below 104.60 by the end of the week? That means tomorrow. If we close the week below 104.60, you can pretty much stick a fork in the euro. I think we're going to start looking at parity towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. All right. It's been destroyed, and there's not a lot of hope for it right now. The outlook for euro bulls is extremely bleak at the moment. That doesn't mean things can't change. I'm just saying at this moment, based on the information we have, yeah, if you're long the euro right now, you're probably going, oh my God, what am I doing long the euro? Holy cow. You know what I mean? All right. Anyway, I don't want to beat you up if you are. I'm just saying that, that's probably what people are thinking. If we end up posting a false breakdown today, that'd be a pretty bold statement for the market. And again, it's all about the weekly close tomorrow. Where is the euro going to close below? Is it going to close below this 104.60, or is it going to close back above 105? I mean, we closed back above 105 and a quarter, and now you got a false breakdown, and then that to contend with. right? Based on what we saw in the last Fed hike last year, the dollar did weaken, so it's not a foregone conclusion that the dollar is going to just, head to 105 at this point. All right, let's go take a look at the cable. So the pound got hit. We just hit the 127% extension of what? I don't know what that is, so let's just get rid of it. I'm not sure what that is. We broke that trend line today, and you can see the cable. We were holding it, actually. I would say we were holding it up until this morning, and then whop, there we go. Now, here's a risk. Again, I'm thinking about the risks here, not necessarily for sure type of things, but this is the risk. You guys see it? Okay, we have a possible Garley here. Now, I don't trust the pound enough to be like buying it, but if you got a, basically a 618 retracement, close to, right? Okay, rally up here to a 786. We may find some support down here, 124 and a quarter. Now, what I'm gonna do, really quick, what I'm gonna do with this pound, now that you've seen that, I can do it this way. See what I'm thinking in my head. I'll take this low, not that low. I was going to do that low, but I'm going to take this low. There's some support down here, right? Hold on. %, retracement. That comes in at 124.30, which actually coincides with what we were just looking at on that possible Garley. So I'm gonna write down 124.30. It's minor support, not great support. It's just minor support. Okay. All right. Resistance. So now that we broke through that was 125.30. That's resistance on the way up. We have to turn this back to bearish from range environment now that we broke below. Whoops. Now that we've broken back below that trend line, FYI, at least for today, unless we get a massive reversal today, which we could. I'm not going to rule that out. All right. Let's go over to the dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss closed in breakout territory. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I'm like, I should buy the dollar Swiss because of this massive interest rate differential between, the dollar and Switzerland. It's like, my fear, like always, is, well, how about if there's a European issue? But you can't trade that way. You have to just trade, if there's a European issue that arises, you have to deal with it at that moment. But trading in anticipation of something like that is like always waiting for a black swan event that's never going to happen. So, right now, the dollar Swiss will be supported on any move now. Any move. Back down to 102. We are pushing some really key resistance here, aren't we? I didn't even notice that. Look at that. Right there. Oh. Hey oh. That's some big resistance right there. 103.30. What's today's high? Today's high is, what is it? 103.24? Ah. 1.0330. Key resistance. Okay, now, any dip back down to 102 is going to be very well supported. So, if you want to be long the Swissy, being long right now doesn't make a lot of sense, but being long down here does. Okay. These are the types that, again, if the euro rallies back to, let's say, 104.70, the Swissy might actually pull back like this. Then this is the pullbacks. Those are the pullbacks you look for to get long, right? So 102 is bullish. Okay. Dollar yen. Like I said, I got hit in the dollar yen. I tried to short it yesterday. I just got ran over like a freight train. It's like, man, this thing is just not stopping. I shorted it about just ahead of this 127% extension, and then as we got up towards 117, I had to pull the plug on it. I just, I'm like, it's it. We have rallied substantially in the dollar yen. I'm not too sure where the stopping point is for this dollar yen. I mean, 120 would be my best guess at this point, but obviously RSI divergent. It's hard to imagine it going to 120, but I would have said it was. I would have a hard time imagining it going to 117 when it was down here at 114. So, that doesn't mean anything, right? I think what we will have to do is just mark today's highs at this point, just because we had a hourly bearish reversal candle there. I mean, the 4 hour is still bullish. I mean, but if we drop below 118, that's going to change that within the hour. Remember, we do have CPI data coming out, so maybe it does alter it a little bit. Following CPI. 18. Let's just write 1870, 118.70. That's, I mean, we go 118.70, then 120. Okay, that's it. It is bullish. Okay, now support. Support is right here. Intraday. I mean, this thing's been on a rampage, so 117.70's got to hold. Okay, if we drop below 117.70, well, then we got like 117. I guess I will. Well, I don't even want to write that, because I think 117 is going to offer 117.70 is going to offer a place for you to get long. For those of you that want to get long the dollar yen, okay. But below that, you got 117 if that gives way. Let's go over the dollar CAD. What a huge move in the dollar Canadian. I bought the dollar Canadian yesterday, sold it before FOMC, made a little bit of money right here. But obviously I'm not going to hold through FOMC. I mean, I just didn't want to do that, because I was so unsure of what was going to happen. But man, look at that freaking move, huh? I mean, I gotta delete all this stuff, but look at that move. When we broke out of 131.50, it's been basically non-freaking stop, okay? Non-stop. Now, we are, Looks like we got some horizontal resistance here. Here, let's just write this down. Let's take this. So it looks like we got some near-term horizontal resistance, which comes in at 133.60. 133.60. Okay, it's just minor resistance. Support. Let's look at an hourly here. It's just right here, 132.75. That's got to hold. Bulls want that to hold. Is bullish. Okay. Okay, where are we at? Let's go look at the Kiwi. Let's do that really fast. Here's the Kiwi. So the Kiwi is probing the 200-day moving average. If you didn't see it, we've got a little lift off there. Let's see what kind of near-term support we've got. Basically the 618, we have spike lows that come in at 70, what is that? 70, 40, 70, 40. Okay. That's support right now. That's probably fairly key. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, it's 70 cents. It's really key right here. The 70.40 should be good support for today. Well, should be support for today. Below that, but we gotta expect that that's going to break. 0.7000 is major support there. Okay. Now resistance. Any move back to 71 cents, just kind of like the euro rallies back to 1.470. Assuming if we rally back to 71 cents, you're going to find some sellers there. I'm going to put us in a range just because I really would like to see us below 70 cents to ensure that this downtrend is going to continue. Below this channel bottom. I think it's rolling over, but I think we have to just be very careful here with this 70 cent level. Okay. Let's go over to the Aussie. So the Aussie. Have a nice bear flag in play if you guys don't see it. Or a pennant, rather. Let's get rid of it. I'm just getting rid of some of this stuff. Just keep it a little cleaner. So you see that pennant broke lower. Okay, we are at 161% extension of that last move, but I think more importantly, let's pay real close attention to this. horizontal support here. $73.60. Resistance now. And by the way, Australia had a good jobs report overnight too. I mean, you know, unemployment rate went up, but they created way more jobs than the market thought they would. But it didn't matter. I mean, the dollar was the dollar was shaking off that because, frankly, it's I mean, the dollar's been so strong, so it didn't matter. The Aussie is like, okay, great, good data. The dollar's too strong. I gotta reverse. So 74.25 is resistance now. And it's bearish coming out of that pennant. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be back in a few minutes to do everything else. Thanks. Don't go anywhere. All right, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge, and the euro is on the lows. We're gonna flush through 104 momentarily. I'm assuming we're going to trade a 103 handle here shortly, so just stand by. Looks like it's coming. It's hard to stop the bum rush here, huh? Hey man, this dollar is just so strong. It's amazing. Okay, or you could actually say the euro is just pretty damn weak. That's right. That's basically what it is. Well, I mean the dollar yen too, and dollar Canadian, and and everything else. All right, let's go over to where are we at? We are at the dollar index. All right, so the dollar index. I mean, obviously, blasting higher. So we blast past the 127% extension and the 103.50. We're at 103.15. That's 161% extension. That looks doable today. So let's also double check and make sure. This is a 4-hour. Let's go over to the daily chart. Let's reset here. Oh, new lows euro. New lows euro. It's new highs dollar. Oh, here we go. 103 handle. Euro, US dollar. 103 handle. Crazy, huh? All right. Briefly, but the no touch options zapped. Okay. Okay. We're past the 127% extension of this move. RSI is very divergent, but I think 103.60 is doable today. That is our next stop for the dollar index. 103.60. That'll be pretty key resistance. It's 161% extension, so bullish. Well, we're above 102. It's extremely bullish and definitely above. I mean, well, it's just 102 is like, I think it's kind of bullish right that is. Wow, here we go. So intraday support's 102.60. Okay, it's right here. Ooh. Intraday support's right here. Okay. And the dollar index is bullish. That's just minor support. Yeah, for some reason, I'm just going to write it down, but just in case we do pull back a little further than we thought, I'll do 102, 102, 106, 102.60, but that should be the area that if you guys are playing the dollar, that's a good place probably to start looking for dollar longs. Let's take a look at the peso. I tried shorting this bad boy too. It was too strong. Now, as far as the peso go, I'm talking yesterday. When talking the peso, we have the Mexico Central Bank, Banamex, crap, whatever you want to call it. They are making a decision. Banco de Mexico, crap. Hold on. Bank of Mexico. I even did a webinar on this. Banco de Mexico. Dang, thank you. Space cadet this morning. They are making a decision on interest rates. Consensus is they're going to raise a half a basis point. Okay, depends how and if they want to stem the strength of the peso. They could go a little further, but the consensus is a quarter percent. So let's see, the peso, we have the, it looks like previous support, current resistance is right there. Hold on, let me double check something. Let me see something here. No, there's really resistance comes in all the way up here, the 786, which is I say 2070, okay, 2070. Okay, now in case they, because this is a wedge, it broke higher out of the wedge. You can see it's on the daily chart. It's easier to be seen. Okay, here, let's get rid of this. We don't need that for now. We do need that. Hold on really fast. Let me go check something. I gotta double check something. So this is the 50% retracement. Oh, it's a 50% retracement, and there's a 786 there. So it's fib confluence there. All right. We do need to pay attention to that. Now, since it's a wedge, any dip down to 2050 is going to be very well supported today. Bulls don't want to see that give way. Okay. So I'll pull that back, but below 2050 would be kind of ugly. Now they meet at 2 p.m. Eastern, just FYI, okay? Bullish. US dollar, Norwegian krona is bullish. Look at this. Man. Bam! Wait, hold on. I know the Swedish krona is already breaking out, but look at this. Man, this is been up here, so let's figure out why. Okay. Okay, let's stop there for a second. I'm just going to write down 864. I mean, we're here, but how and where do we go after that? That's my question. Oh God, yeah, because if that breaks 864, then we're talking about a move to a move up to 875, 76. So I'm gonna have to write down both. 8.64, and with gold getting, or with crude getting crushed, it's doable. 864, 876, 876. Bullish. we're above 852, 853. It's bullish. US dollar, Swedish krona, multi-year highs. I mean, look, we're at levels we haven't seen since, like, I don't know, forever and a day. US dollar, Swedish krona, USD, SEK. Let me go over to IDC's data. Let's go over to a month. We are seeing prices that we have not seen since 2002. On our way. Still going. Still going. Remember how we were talking about it yesterday? Remember we were talking about it yesterday, and I told you guys, hey, you know, this thing is just not backing off. I mean, and I said, well, it's above 9. It's just bullish. Oh man, we are. Okay, so this is resistance right now, 940. It's 127% extension, so 9.40. I would not be long right at this moment. I'd probably be looking to take some profits, but in case we break that, 950 is your next stop. Hey, we get a strong CPI data, and we can very easily test 950, right? 930 is support. That's the breakout point. You want to be long the U.S. dollar, Swedish krona. You get long down there. Just like the euro, you know, you want to short the euro, you short at 105 if you can get it. If you can get the U.S. dollar, Swedish krona here, that's where you want to be long. You know, you don't want to chase it up here. Okay. All right. Your bias chart's done. I'm sorry I got tied up doing that. I just thinking out loud over here. Wow. Wow. Ricardo said I'm buying.